The sun's out in Southern California this week, and with the Ducks on the road, it's a great time for a road trip. Ducks Weekly is down south in San Diego, taking an inside look at the Ducks' American Hockey League affiliate, the San Diego Gulls. We've got your all-access pass ahead on Ducks Weekly. San Diego, the birthplace of California, a Navy city, a beach city, America's finest city. San Diego is more than the zoo. It's more than the Hotel del Coronado and great weather. San Diegans are prideful people, proud of their city, proud of their history, and proud to stay classy. Dr. Seuss called San Diego home. Marcus Allen was born here. Blink-182 first struck a chord redefining the punk rock scene in San Diego. People come and go, just as the tides ebb and flow. But if you're lucky enough to call San Diego home, it will never leave you.
We're just leaving our condo down here in Pacific Beach, Crown Point, and we're heading out to Poway Ice. It's the day before the big rivalry with Ontario Reign. On my way here, we take a route. You can go along the bay for a while. It's just beautiful. Every day it just makes you feel good in the morning, you know. Growing up in Wisconsin, right now, middle of January, be a little bit of a different scene. Here it's going to be like probably 70 degrees down by the beach, and back home, trucking through the snow, driving hours to hockey games, and you know, it's fun, but you can't beat this here. I never thought I'd be playing hockey in San Diego. I think this is probably the best hockey city in North America, NHL, AHL. I want to be in the NHL, but this is the place to be. Wearing the C, my jersey for the captain, it's definitely a huge honor. I wear it with pride and try to do my best to lead the group and to be mindful of where everybody on our team is at, and you know, get everybody on the same page and create that unity within the room. I'm 31 years old, and some of these guys I'm playing with are 20, 21, 22, 23, just starting their career. And I love being around those guys, showing them the way or trying to teach them how to be good pros. It's a lot of fun, you know, it keeps me young, and not a lot of people spend hours upon hours with someone 10 years younger than them, so it's a great time though. One thing about San Diego, you never know when you're going to run into this. We got plenty of time now, so it should be fine. Today's going to be a little lighter for practice because we play tomorrow. We had the two previous days were a little harder, some battle drills and some conditioning. So we'll get to the rink and guys will warm up. We'll have a meeting, maybe some video, and then go on the ice. We're just about there, and yeah, you just start thinking about getting ready for practice, and yeah, walking in and hamming it up with the boys in the change room. It's time to get after it. Yeah, there's Big Rich right there. You guys are going to see him later today.
Here you go, here you go, here you go. On the tape, call for the puck. Holy gap. If you've got time to drive it down, then you can kick it back to Shea. Yeah, right here, right here. Go. Shake it off, kid, shake it off. Get there, Nick. That's it, that's it. Montreal forecheck. Montreal forecheck. You're gonna self-chip the puck. Switch sides behind the net. Hit the F3, turn, get in on the forecheck. That's it for today. Tomorrow on the ice at 10. So there'll be no meetings in the morning though. All right? Excellent job today, man. That's good, that's it. Lags brought lunch. Look at that, attaboy. Excellent. Well, I'll tell you, it's been excellent being here in San Diego. Myself coming out of, 2 Canadian hockey markets, and then you're coming into Southern California. It's been an amazing journey so far. Our fan support and the hunger for hockey in San Diego has been incredible. I think we're in the top 2 or 3 in the league in attendance. It's so great for our players. From my point of view as a coach and a family thing, this is an incredible place to live. You know, my family's built. My wife's extremely fit. She's outdoors all the time. I like to run and ride my bike, and our girls have kind of fallen into line. My one daughter is just addicted to boogie boarding and wants to surf now. So it's an incredible way of life. Right, direct him, and you go get after that puck. Get after that puck. I think you're in a different mindset. When you come into the rink, it's sunny outside, it's warm, you're in a good mood, and you're more receptive to hard work than if you were somewhere dark and dreary and it's miserable out. You know, as a coach, you remember when you were that age or younger and what your dream was, so you don't lose that. So you know where they're coming from and how passionate they are about it. I love Bob Murray's, his premise of, players are going to play in the American Hockey League. I think it not only helps get you ready for the NHL, but it certainly, makes you appreciate the NHL.
Here's Theodore! Score!
And the biggest thing we try to put through to all of our players here, it's about process and circumstance. When you say the word process to a player, that means time. And they don't like that. They want to go play in the NHL now. And what we put on the player is the urgency of the process. So we want them to be urgent day to day, but understand that this is going to take time. The second part of it for me, it's my favorite word, is circumstance. Like, what's your circumstance today? And it doesn't matter if it's good or bad, deal with it. Deal with it. Don't bring any negative stuff into our room. It's supposed to be hard, but it's supposed to be fun too. And that we're all in this together. Like, I can only get better with their help, and they can only get better with my help.
Up next, we visit 2 Gulls AHL All-Stars and learn more about the history of hockey in San Diego. Stay tuned.
Ducks Weekly is brought to you by El Pollo Loco. Try the new chili lime shrimp, now available for a limited time. El Pollo Loco, crazy you can taste.
In 1944, San Diego was introduced to professional hockey by the San Diego Skyhawks. The team went on to win the city's first hockey championship in 1949, growing the fan base for a cold northern sport in a sunny southern city. The original San Diego Gulls followed in 1966, led by Willie O'Ree, an icon of the sport who broke the NHL's color barrier. His jersey was retired by the club, and he's now an ambassador for hockey across Southern California. For 60 years or so, San Diego saw a rotating collection of teams and leagues with the Skyhawks, Mariners, Hawks, and 3 different iterations of the Gulls. The third version of the Gulls won 5 league championships in an 11-year stretch in the late 90s and early 2000s, oftentimes in front of boisterous crowds at San Diego Sports Arena. After the Gulls shuttered for a 3rd time in 2006, the city was left without hockey once again. That all changed in January of 2015 when the Anaheim Ducks reinvigorated San Diego's rich hockey tradition by announcing the relocation of their AHL affiliate from Norfolk, Virginia. Hockey was absent for 10 years, but both new and old have returned to pick up where they once left off. After practice, we spent some time with Brandon Montour and Nick Ritchie, teammates, roommates, and the Gulls AHL All-Stars to see what life is like off the ice.
Hey guys, I'm Brandon Montour. I play defense for the San Diego Gulls. Come in, take a look at the house. This one's mine. I guess it's a little cleaner than it usually is, but yeah, it's pretty simple. There's a bunch of the guys from the team here playing a little bit of Madden on the Xbox. X. Oh baby. No way. Being our first years, coming from junior hockey in college, I mean, you're used to going home, having curfew and stuff like that. And professional hockey is, I mean, a little different. We're heading into break now, so we don't have too much food. Milk, waters, orange juice, yogurt, salad, I guess. See ya. Rinse.
Being my first year, it makes me a little more special. I've never been in an all-star game in any kind of hockey really, so it'll be cool for me this weekend coming up, and I'm looking forward to it a lot.
Good night, Ronnie. Night, big boy.
Just heading to the rink right now for little pre-game skate. Big game tonight against the Rain. Big divisional game. Team we're trying to catch, and you know, it's time to start thinking about it and getting prepared for that one.
There's a little bit of history, I guess you could say, from past games. So I mean, tonight's obviously going to be a pretty good game, and it's going to be probably pretty physical. So I mean,
yeah, for sure. Hopefully we can use our home ice and get this one. They do got some guys on their team that are pretty irritating. What do you think, hey Joey?
Yeah, there's definitely a couple. I'm not going to name any names. I know who they are. I'm sure they can say the same about our team. We got, when we're healthy, we're probably one of the toughest teams in the league, I'd say. So.
There's no NHL games going on, so obviously the Ducks or Kings fans are looking to watch some hockey tonight. I guess going into break, and I mean, watching the Gulls in the Rain might be their only chance to
get some hockey.
Yeah, so I mean,
they're probably looking at it like eventually some of those players will be playing each other up there. Continues the rivalry. You played a guy in the AHL, you played him in the NHL. It's just that much stronger.
Should be fun. Should be a pretty good crowd tonight.
Yeah, both teams being so close. Maybe get some Ducks fans out there. I hope it's not just like your seat night. Hey, Joey?
Not in San Diego, Nicky.
No, not here. It's not.
The sport we have in San Diego here.
It's actually true, though.
I mean, it's crazy all the things they do in San Diego, and we still get like some of the best fans that know hockey and are loud and they're into it.
Gives us an advantage for sure.
How many people here today? Let's give a guess.
Tonight?
Yeah. I say 11.
I say around 10, yeah.
I'll say between 10 and 11, yeah.
We have fans coming down from Norfolk still. Especially for Nick Ritchie. Alrighty, boys.
Time to get a little skate in here.
Yep.
Get ready for the game tonight.
Coming up, former Gull and color analyst BJ McPherson shares his life-changing story.
Everybody sets the room up differently. There's no right or wrong way to do it.
here in San Diego, it wasn't hard to get some pretty good hockey players to come to town. And my change in my life came May 4th, 2001, when right about here I broke my neck, where my old forehead hit my belly button, and 4 and 5 vertebrae, they went and dislocated. Wasn't on this ice rink, it was in Boise, Idaho. And at that time is when I lost breathing, my heart stopped moving, and I got that little bit of scar there when Billy Taylor, the trainer of the team, actually went out on the ice and cut me and put a trach in my neck there. And when he started breathing for me, he couldn't stop me from talking, because that's when I was saying, Billy, don't stop breathing, don't stop breathing. I'm in a hospital in Boise, Idaho, and at that time I remember lying there when Martin St. Amour put a phone to my head, was talking to my mother and said, you know, Ma, everything's going to be okay, they're going to take x-rays. And at that time is when the doctors came back and said, hey, we're going to keep you alive, but you're never going to walk again. And when you hear that, it's kind of surreal. But at that time is when my hero, Christian Zimmerman, came in the room, and he looked at me and said, I'm going to take over here. And after that surgery, about 6 days later is when I got flown back here to San Diego. The doctor said there's not a chance I'm going to make it to Game 7. So my mom put a pen in my hand and they made the X on the paper. I know it sounds like a movie, but that's really what happened. And they let me come here. And when we got out of the ambulance, they put me in a wheelchair. Went in the locker room, I talked to the guys. They came out in the ice and I got to sit right over here. Right over here, they closed the boards and they put a little stand, and in the wheelchair was myself, my fiance Angela, and one of my good friends, Clark Poglace. When I found out about the Gulls coming, that was great. And I got a call from Ari Siegel, and I think it was 2 days before the game opener, and that's when he called me and he said, hey BJ, we want you to be the color commentator on the 1090.
Yeah, and like we talked about before, the guys that have stepped up for the Gulls in this time of need.
It stood out to me immediately with BJ that having him with me was just like having him in the locker room. You know, I found out immediately what kind of an amazing teammate he is, and then he brings that hockey knowledge, and plus he sounds Canadian, which is great for a radio broadcast. I think it adds a little veritas. He's even starting to learn to link a noun and a verb, so we're getting somewhere.
One thing about hockey players you never forget.
Starts a little bit with the organization up top. Play any team 12 times a year, you're going to have some rivalries, some feelings.
Grammarosa with speed, he shoots it, rebound, score!
The rivalry is as fierce on the ice as it is in the stands, and the result is just positive for all the organizations and for hockey in Southern California.
Tonight's game is going to be one of those games just before the All-Star break, and we had the big hit a couple weeks ago with the player who had the suspension. I look for either a really skilled game by the Gulls because it's a new lineup for them, or could be a lot of fisticuffs.
There was a nastiness and a meanness in the game that big rivalries are built on, and it started right then, and it hasn't stopped.
Any games that are have a little bit more character behind them end up being a little bit more interesting, a little bit more fun.
Whether you're up with a big club or you're down here, it's always intense games, and it kind of just makes it more exciting and more fun to play the game.
It's definitely going to be a hard matchup. First or second in a conference all year, defending champs, and they play hard.
Obviously, we want the 2 points, but you know, we remember what happened, and it seems every night we play these guys, it's a high energy, physical game.
Up next, we sit down with Gulls president Ari Siegel to learn about the fan experience. Then, it's highlights of the big rivalry.
Ducks Weekly is brought to you by El Pollo Loco. Try the new chili lime shrimp, now available for a limited time. El Pollo Loco, crazy you can taste.
Saturday night is hockey night in San Diego, and the crowd convening inside the Valley View Casino Center for the San Diego Gulls and the Ontario Reign, a renewal of hostilities, the 7th of 12 Pacific Division meetings between the AHL affiliates of the Anaheim Ducks and the Los Angeles Kings.
It's going to be loud, and we're playing a huge rival. So let's just settle in and play whistle to whistle.
Obviously, there's some bad blood between us. It seems every night we play these guys, it's a high energy, physical game.
We came here this year to San Diego, to a market that has been looking for a winning sports product, that was on edge about the Chargers. Would they come, would they go? Not only are there transplants from all over the country, not only is there a transient population because of the military, not only are there Ducks fans who actually live here in San Diego, particularly in North County, but there are also people who grew up going to, whether it was WHL or IHL Gulls games or Mariners games, and who have loved hockey for years and years. February 22nd, 2015, we had 8,500 people show up just to see us unveil a name and logo. No hockey was going to be played except for street hockey in the parking lot. No players were going to be there except for old WCHL Gulls players and Willie O'Ree. But 8,500 people came out just to celebrate the return of hockey to this market. The military, it's a huge part of the heartbeat in San Diego, and so we've tried to establish relationships with the military across the board. Every game, Dallas Eakins gives one of the players on the team a jacket, symbolizing who was kind of the player of the game, who made the greatest contribution. That jacket comes from 3rd Marine Air Wing in Miramar. Everything is the first annual. Star Wars night, salute to heroes, teddy bear toss. We're looking for ways to engage the community, a community partner, and our players in an authentic way. And our Salute to Heroes on November 14th was really our capstone event to try to do that. We wore camouflage jerseys, which we auctioned off, raising money for the Wounded Warrior Support Network and the Navy SEAL Foundation. And we had a really, really special 3 Stars of the Game presentation to honor 3 stars of our community, military heroes and their children. Our players stayed on the ice and went out and greeted the military hero and their family, signing autographs and everything else, and then posing for a picture with our team. I think the cool thing is the consistency of the attendance across every day of the week. I think when all is said and done, we have a chance to set some records in the league for revenue and maybe even for attendance. So long as people continue to come out, I think there's a lot of opportunity for us to really make people across the entire continent take note of how strong the passion for hockey is in Southern California.
You have the feeling here tonight of like a playoff game. That's what the atmosphere is like.
Big crowd tonight. $2 Friday here. It's going to be loud. Playing a huge rival.
These teams don't like each other. You can throw out the records.
Loose. Here's Horvath coming in. Shot saved by Hackett. Point blank. Redirection shot ticked off the glove of behind the net and Matt. Back to Montour under play. Deflected pass and Mersch scores. Oh my goodness, a bad break for San Diego. Put him in hard, arms extended.
They've got the villain in the box. Now's the time to take care of business.
And play continues on the power play. Hackett thought he had a clear. Almost a second deflection for oh no! Look down at Brett. Schultz, stick handles, they score.
Unfortunately, the Gulls lost this one. But the season is long, and these two will meet again. And when they do, you should be there to see the Duck Stars of tomorrow in the AHL's best town, San Diego.